Hey, it's Justine from The Typical Mom again, and I'm back with another pressure cooker recipe. I'm going to be making my Instant Pot taco casserole. That's what we call it anyway in our house. You call it anything you want, but it's really, really yummy. So I've set my Instant Pot to saute because we're going to cook our meat first, and I like to add a little bit of olive oil to the pan, and then our ground beef. I'm going to break up the ground beef a little bit, and we're going to cook it until most of the pink is gone. You can leave a tiny bit of pink because it is beef, and it will cook when we switch it to pressurize high and cook for 3 minutes with the noodles and everything else in it. You want to cook, for the most part, the ground beef until it's about 3/4 of the way done. Now I like to add my onions and soften just a little bit while I'm cooking the rest of my ground beef. Get those a little bit softened. And then it's really up to you whether you want to drain the beef or leave it as is. If you buy really lean ground beef, it's not really necessary to drain if you don't want to, but totally up to you. Now that my beef is about 3/4 of the way cooked, I'm going to press off. Very important step, or else on the screen it may display a burn function when you turn it back to pressure. So you need to make sure that after you're sauteing something, you press cancel and let it have a little bit of time to cool off, or else a lot of times it will display that burn function. So I'm going to go ahead and drain my ground beef, and I'll be back. Okay, so it's drained, and we're going to add our other ingredients. So we're going to add a can of diced tomatoes. A lot of times I like the petite diced tomatoes, but it's kind of whatever I can find in the store. We're going to add 8 ounces of tomato sauce. As you can see, we're leaving the ground beef on the bottom, and we're not stirring. We're going to add... So this is a choice. You can use a packet of taco seasoning. If you make your own taco seasoning, by all means add about 2 tablespoons of that. Or you can add a little bit of seasoned salt with some chili powder and some garlic powder. I've done that too if I don't have a taco packet seasoning. And I use 1 3/4 cups of beef broth. You can use water, but this turns out a lot better and a lot more flavorful, especially in this dish if you use beef broth. Okay, I'm not stirring, we're just leaving everything as is, but it will turn out perfect. So we're going to use 2 cups of small noodles that are not cooked. You can really use any type that you like. I kind of like these. The kids kind of like the shape. So that you could use like medium-sized shells or anything you really have, but we prefer these. I'm going to pour this on top. Not stirring. I'm going to just push the noodles down so that they're submerged in our liquid. But this kind of prevents the burn message from coming up, and it works really well. In my Instant Pot spaghetti, this is the method that I use. And make sure we close our steam valve, and we're going to set to pressure high for only 3 minutes. You want to do it for much longer than that, or else your noodles will be a little bit too soft for us. 3 minutes is perfect. So we'll be back in just a minute. Now, if you need a dairy-free Instant Pot recipe, this is kind of where you're going to stop. You're going to serve and enjoy it. My husband needs dairy-free, so what I do before I add all of the delicious cheese and sour cream is, for him, I get a bowl and I just serve him up a little bit of our Instant Pot taco casserole in a bowl so he can enjoy it with us, but it doesn't have the dairy products in it. Then we're going to add 1.5 cups of cheese, so totally up to you. I kind of like a mixture of white and cheddar cheese. We're gonna put that in, and then we're going to kind of stir it around. And we're gonna put the lid back on and let it melt. It really doesn't take very long to melt. You could just kind of wait, but I like to put the lid back on and just, you don't even have to secure it, just kind of let it sit for about 5 minutes and let it really melt in, and then we'll be back to look at it and I'll serve it up. Okay, so after a couple of minutes, I'm going to take the top back off, and it really smells amazing. You're gonna have your Instant Pot taco casserole. It's delicious, but there's another part that makes it even better if you want to just take it totally over the top. Okay, so you can either serve it in bowls and then put a little bit of sour cream on the top, or you can add about a tablespoon, a whopping tablespoon, so like 2 tablespoons, into the pot, and then stir it in, and it kind of makes it like a creamy taco casserole. It's probably one of the most amazing Instant Pot recipes I've made on my blog, and I have over 100 on The Typical Mom. So I really suggest you make this one. It is super easy. It's not very expensive to make. The kids will absolutely be crazy over it, and it's definitely one of mine. My favorite recipes, Instant Pot taco casserole. Enjoy it, and I will see you when I make another creation soon.